A rebel, a challenger, a risk taker. The one who believes in the power of the underdog. Blazing his own trail, refusing to conform, daring to be great.
No mercy for you guys, man. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Doncic. As he loses one into Lively. Washington.
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Domination by the Mavericks.
Each chapter brings new challenges. We've defied expectations, shattered records, and redefined what it means to play for this city. This time, everything is up for grabs, and we always gonna stand on business.
Hey, Derek, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
Man, we had a good weekend in football so far.
It's been horrible.
Could have been worse. But the big game's tomorrow. I'm excited about tomorrow.
Yeah.
I am super, super, super excited about tomorrow. So before we hop into that, let's run our main ad for the night. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. It's getting cold, man. It was cold today.
We had a fire all day.
That wind today was brutal. It did not help with how cold it's gotten. So, but yeah, let's run our ad, and then we will get going for the show.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her a call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
All right. Well, Derek, one thing before we get going, I want to do this real quick. I finally added this in here. Guys, hold on. Move us out the way here. Nope. There we go. That works. I couldn't figure out which one it was. I did it as a background. I wanted it to be big. Guys, you, your friends, your family, if you don't follow us on all of our socials, please scan this QR code. I'm going to leave it up here for about 30 seconds or so and scan that and follow us on everything. That way you can follow everything we do and just keep up with everything we have going on. I finally have had this made, and I have not been adding it to our page here, or the podcast live, and I wanted to add it so people can scan it. I do have it on our intro and outro, but I wanted something bigger during to be able to put out there. So, scan that. It will lead you to all of our socials, and you can easily follow. There's links there you can click on to be able to follow us there. So scan that, and if you have any issues with it, it should be good. But if there's any issues, just let one of us know. Message us on Facebook or Twitter or anything, and we'll make sure to get it fixed if there is any issues. All right, Derek. First thing I want to talk about is this news here. There had been speculations. I think you actually brought it up last, or maybe it was this week. It was past week.
It was past week.
That there had been, there were 2 NFL teams, and they were wanting to interview Sark. I did not want that to happen because I like him as a coach. I like him at Texas. Well, actually, we had to talk about him in Lincoln Riley. You brought that up. Actually, last podcast, you're right. You told me some records and stuff like that, and I'm glad he's staying. I think just what he's built there, it's been 2 good years in Texas. I would say that. I don't think he's ready to give that up. I'm glad he extended. But there was 2 teams that were pushing pretty hard for him to come just do interviews, and he didn't do it. He's staying in Texas. I love it. I hope he can redeem what he has, how his past went. I mean, you brought it up. He hasn't had a lot of winning seasons in college. He's had a lot of subpar seasons at best. He's had 2 really good seasons. So I'm glad. That's really the only biggest news I've seen in college so far since our last podcast.
Something else that I think about this is kudos to the Texas AD. You see your coach is gaining some steam with these NFL guys. Go extend him, because that extension also raised that buyout. If I'm not mistaken, each year of a coach's buyout reduces it by whatever he makes for that year. So now he's extended. Now, I mean, you're probably looking at a $40 or $50 million buyout next year.
Yeah, now he's one of the top paid coaches. I don't know what the number is there. Yeah. I haven't seen the number on this. So it must be significant.
So if somebody wants him, they're going to have to pay Texas a substantial amount, which will just turn into Texas buying somebody else out.
Right.
Another big thing in the college realm, coaching wise, I know we kind of talked about it in the group chat. Bill Belichick not signing his contract yet. I did not know that, for one. I thought I had read something, but I didn't know that for sure until I seen it this past week. It's very interesting because he set his son up to kind of be the next coach. Is that going to transition to possibly this year he's coaching, or so that's another thing to kind of keep your eye on.
I was speaking of that. When that came out, Lombardi was on Pat McAfee the next day, or maybe it was because he's on there every week. So he was explaining. I watched the video. He told everyone, "Do not look into it. Belichick's going nowhere." Those were his exact words. Belichick's going nowhere. He didn't really give a reason why he hasn't signed it yet, but he's pretty much stated he's not going anywhere. So don't look into it. So
let me ask you this: could Belichick change Jerry?
Yes.
Could Belichick? So right now, Jerry is 95% over the team. I mean, let's just be honest. The coach and offensive.
I say 99.
I mean, I agree, but I'm saying the coach and the coordinators kind of play who they want, call the plays that they want.
Right.
But literally, Jerry gets the players, all that. Could a Belichick hire and Jerry getting tired of listening to all the outside noise, could it go 70-30? Could Belichick get 30% of operations?
I think because of who he is and what he's done, that would probably be the only coach I could see now that Jerry could actually take some off of him and give it to him, if that makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you know what's going to happen is Belichick. So Jerry's the owner and the CEO of the Cowboys. Who's the general manager? His son.
Jerry. Oh, yes. Yeah.
His son is a general manager.
Well, should be.
I mean, I think he's labeled as that, but we all know Jerry runs the world, right?
Yeah.
But what Belichick could come in and be like, hey, give me this, give your son this. Stop taking all the responsibility for everything. Stop taking all the hit. You're close. Jerry could have retired 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we're talking about financially, just based off of the call just because of everything that goes through that stadium between the not just the NFL games but state high school games makes a ton. There's a bowl game there every year. A ton. So the money's not a problem. He has plenty of money. He don't spend the money. That's one problem. And for two, it would just take some stuff off of Jerry. And I think Belichick is the only coach that could. But the problem is Jerry going to come out or is Jerry going to do that? He should for the team, but he's got to let his pride go some to do that. And that's what I don't know if he'll do. But
you were speaking of the high school stuff. Do you know what he gets for the high school stuff for the state tournament? I mean, he gets 100% of parking and 100% of concessions. Concessions.
Oh, concessions.
And a split 70-30 of ticket sales with the school. He gets the 30 and the school gets the 70. But dude, he is racking in because it's like $25 or $30 a parking.
That's what I was thinking.
He makes a killing in those 4 days.
He does. He makes a killing. That's what I'm saying. Money's not an issue with him, or money's not an issue with the team. He's just got to spend it.
Yeah.
And another thing on this Texas hire, what it also shows me that not to backtrack, but what they value in him. He was worthy of the extension. I don't think Sark was going to leave regardless because, I mean, think about the teams. Like Dallas is probably the only decent team that needs a coach. I'm talking about decent, like has the talent. The other teams are like, right? They're like, So, like, I don't think.
But I think that's what made him desirable is when he came to Texas. Texas was you know what I mean? I think they were 5-7, whatever they were. So I don't know.
It's a great hire, a great extension. He does deserve it, and Texas values him and what he's done. He deserved it. So, man, let's get into this game. I'm super excited about this game tomorrow. I mean, this is
8-7.
I don't think when the playoffs started. I'm not surprised by Ohio State. I think Notre Dame is probably the bigger surprise. Not saying that they're not.
What's
going on, Brandon? How are you, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm not necessarily surprised by Ohio State. I mean, because I thought they had the most talented roster, probably outside of maybe Oregon. But Notre Dame is. I say they're a surprise, but well.
Notre Dame is a surprise. I mean, they're
surprised.
I did see something that I thought was very, very cool. I'm going to ask you this. If if Ohio State wins this game, do they go down as one of the greatest football teams in college football history? Because here's what I'm going to say. There's a 12-team playoff. If Ohio State wins this game, they will have beat 7 of the 12 teams in the playoff. Because they beat Indiana outside the playoff. Then they beat Tennessee. They beat Oregon. They beat Texas. They beat Notre Dame. I'm trying to think who else they beat. They beat one more. There's 6. I'm sorry, 6 as well. They beat one more. I mean, this has been an incredible run. I mean,
it has been.
Tennessee was no slouch. They had manhandled them.
They manhandled Tennessee.
Oregon has been the best team all year long. I mean, they
manhandled them.
Manhandled them. Beat Texas. I mean, they beat Texas. I'm not gonna say they manhandled Texas, but at the
end of the game, they manhandled Texas at the end of the game. Yes, they did.
I mean, so the only reason I would want Notre Dame to win this game, I think Notre Dame's a fraud. I mean, everybody knows my stance on Notre Dame. They're not in the conference. If they make the playoffs, they should be a minimum 12 seed every year. I don't care what their ranking is, what their record is. I think they're a joke, and I think they're scared to get into a conference because I think they know that they wouldn't make it, or it would be harder to make it than doing pancake scheduling. The only reason I want Notre Dame to win it is because I think if Notre Dame wins, I think Marcus Freeman entertains an NFL job.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for Dallas to give him that interview because I am a huge Marcus Freeman fan.
I'm a huge Marcus Freeman man too. I do want to throw this out here. So I have their all-time meetings. So Ohio State leads the series 6-2.
They've only played 8 times.
They've only played 8 times, and Ohio
Wow.
State's 6-2. Now I don't have.
Well, that's what happens when you're scared to play a big-time opponent.
I do have. So in 1935, Notre Dame won 18-13. In 36, Notre Dame won 7-2.
Big time game.
In 95, Ohio State won 45-26. In 96, Ohio State won 29-16. 2006, Ohio State won 34-20. In 16, Ohio State won 44-28. In 22, they won 21-10. And in 23, Ohio State won 17-14. So they have not. Notre Dame has not beat them since 1936, and it was a 7-2 victory.
Yeah, so I know that, Brandon. Like I know the whole money thing about them because I don't know if you watched one of our shows. It's been probably about a month ago. When COVID hit and we only did conference games, Notre Dame football team jumped in the ACC because if not, they would have had no games that year. If I was the ACC, I would have made them sign a 10-year agreement to get into the ACC. If I was the Big Ten, I would have made them sign a 10-year agreement. I would have made them either forfeit the entire year or sign a 10-year agreement to get into a thing. And I would have the buyout so astronomically high that they wouldn't have been able to afford to buy it out. They would have to ride out the 10 years. But yes, I 100% get and understand the money aspect of it. But I just think it's crap because you're showing now that you're almost better off going independent, making your own schedule, playing one hard team, one or two hard teams, and then cakewalk the rest of the season, and you get in. Exactly, Brandon. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I did say though that the AD for Notre Dame. I saw an interview with him, and they do not plan on going into a conference.
They won't,
and they won't. So let's get into this game. Derek, what are your keys for the teams in this game? What kind of give us? I know you've given us your score last podcast. Before we pick our winners, let's kind of break it down a little bit. What are your keys for this game for maybe both teams?
It cannot be a shootout for Notre Dame. Notre Dame does not have the firepower to score with Ohio State. I thought Texas did. And that defense shut that down. I mean, Texas moved the ball a little bit here and there, but defensively, Ohio State had a great game plan and they played really well. Mm-hmm. So I think, and I go back to the first month that we were doing this, I pounded on it and I pounded on it and I pounded on it. Notre Dame has to run the football.
They got to get Love running the ball.
They have to get Love running the ball, and I hate saying this. They've got to play conservative. Marcus Freeman does not need to go out there and let Leonard try to light it up. Mm-hmm. Run the ball and move the chains. Stay ahead of the chains. Like don't get into a 3rd and 9, 2nd and 12 because you took a sack or try to do some dumb reverse pass. Mm-hmm. Just kind of grind it out. Defensively for Notre Dame, they have to do exactly what Texas did. They have to take Smith out of the game. I think if you take Smith out of the passing game, because the running game is what hurt Texas. I mean, there was that 75-yarder screen right before half, but I mean, they ran the ball really well against Texas, better than I thought they would. So Notre Dame has to take Smith out of the game. Offensively, yes, Brandon, that's exactly where I was going with this. I think we're going to see a vintage Chip Kelly. I think we're going to see the Oregon Chip Kelly. He's going to draw up stuff. He's going to motions and mismatches, and I think this offense is really going to just light it up. And I think the defense is going to feed off that. I think Ryan Day saves his job. I know I said 38 to 17. I'm actually going to go 38-20. I'm going to give Notre Dame a little more. I have Ohio State winning. And I have freshman phenom Jeremiah Smith
MVP.
as the MVP. I think Howard is going to force feed him the rock. I think he is going to blow this game open midway through the second. And I think Notre Dame just tries to play catch up the rest of the game. I think it's over by halftime.
Wow. Okay. There's Derek's take. So I think for Ohio, actually, I'm going to go Notre Dame first. I actually disagree. I don't think Notre Dame should do what Texas does because I think that's why they lost. They were so focused on Jeremiah Smith. That's why Ohio State ran the ball very well. They should do like them, but don't put 12 people on Jeremiah Smith. I know you can't have 12. I'm being over sarcastic, but don't just focus on him because they do have more than just him. I think that's where Texas messed up. They shut him down, but look, their receiver Tate had a heck of he was their best receiver that game. And I mean, so Ohio State has too many weapons to just focus on one guy. If you're going to focus on the receivers, they're going to run the ball. If you focus on the run, they're just going to throw over the top. So you got to have a really good defensive game plan to beat Ohio State. You have to. I do think Notre Dame's defense is underrated. I think they're actually really good. It's their offense that. What are they going to do offensively if they try to make Ryan Leonard the key to this game? As in, like, throwing the ball all the time, not running much, they will lose. Because you actually need to run with Leonard and Love often. Stay ahead, like I said, stay ahead of the chains. Time of possession needs to be in Notre Dame's back pocket. Stay in their back pocket all game for them to have a chance. Ohio State just needs to be Ohio State. Don't do nothing crazy. Chip Kelly, just be Chip Kelly. I'm actually going to probably surprise y'all. I'm picking Notre Dame.
Really?
I am. I like Marcus Freeman. I like the defense. I really there's something, man. It's these gut feelings of mine. I think. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I know. But listen, I'm telling you, there's something about Notre Dame that I actually like. I do worry about the offense, but I'm going to go. It's going to be a close game. I do think this is going to be a better game than what people expect. I'm going 35-31 Notre Dame.
Wow. Real close.
I do think it's going to be a close game. Now, again, Notre Dame cannot get in the shootout. That's why I'm keeping it close, because if it's a shootout, Brandon, if Notre Dame comes out any kind of coldness in their blood at all, it will be a blowout. But I think Marcus Freeman's going to have this team ready. I do think both teams will turn the ball over. But I don't know. It's just a feeling, man. It's just that it's like the gut feeling. Like it was almost like the Commanders and Lions. I had picked the Lions on our podcast, and then I messaged y'all and said, then we were asking who's winning, and I said the Commanders. I changed my mind because something just told me that the Commanders were going to beat the Lions, and they exposed the Lions defensively. It shows the injuries. Their injuries on defense showed in that game.
Oh, yeah, they caught up with them.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the games, but there's just a feeling that I think Notre Dame's going to win this game in a very close game. And like you said, Marcus Freeman's going to get those. He's going to entertain. I think regardless, he entertains. I think regardless of this outcome, I think Marcus Freeman interviews for an NFL job. I'm not going to say he takes it, but I don't know why he wouldn't. But that's my pick, man.
Something we've kind of talked about, and I know Brandon didn't comment, so maybe he can pitch in on this. Well, I guess he's already pitched in on it, but let me ask you. Regardless of the outcome, is Ryan Day safe?
I think so.
I think so as well.
Now I don't know how much longer, but he I mean, I understand he can't beat his rivals, and that's whatever. But look where he's at now. He's in the Natty, right?
Yeah.
So he got to the biggest stage. I don't see how you let him go. That would be the worst firing in college football history, to let somebody go after they win or lose a Natty, regardless of the outcome. I get the past is the past, but we're in the present. And if they do win, I agree, Derek. It's one of the best runs in college football.
Yeah.
They beat 6 of the 12 teams. They did lose to Michigan in the last game, and everybody thought they would fumble. They actually got they got better in this last 4-week span than they probably got they just got better.
I'm going to tell you who has led the charge in this Ohio State team.
I think it's Will Howard.
Do you remember the video of Michigan planting the flag?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the kid that lost his freaking mind and was getting held back by the police and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Sawyer.
And
defensively, he has led the charge. He has been the anchor. And I honest to God, I think that Ryan Day went into that locker room after that game, and I think he told them, he said, "Hey, if we make it, we're on a revenge tour. Like, if we make it to these playoffs, and then all this stuff starts coming out about if Day doesn't win at all, he's fired. He's gone. He's gone." I think Ryan Day has that locker room. I think those kids buy into him. I think those kids like him. And I think it's showing out there on the field because they're literally playing their hearts out for that guy. And it's been fun to watch. I mean, it has been really, really fun to watch.
I know my pick is probably running through y'all's brains. Like, what is this dude thinking? I actually like Ryan Day. I think he's had a great year overall. I mean, I know they lost to Michigan, but and they lost to Oregon, but whatever. They got their revenge on Oregon times 2. If they
my gosh, for sure.
So I think Ryan Day is safe, regardless of what happens tomorrow. But in some ways, I hope I'm wrong because I think Ohio State, just their run. But there's just this feeling, man, that I think Notre Dame is going to find a way to win the game, just like they've found ways to win, in some of these other games, like Penn State found a way to win because that was a really good game against Penn State. Penn State could have won that game as well. It's just, I don't know. Their defense is good. Riley Leonard is the key on the offense. Like, when he has to pass, is he accurate? Is he going to turn the ball over? When he needs to run, when there's a pass play, does he run or does he try to force it? That's what I'm saying. Like, what version of Riley Leonard are we going to get? I'm sold on Will Howard. He has sold me in these playoffs. We've been talking about him all year. But I really think that I think Notre Dame's going to pull it out, man. I do. Like I said, a close game. But I do think they find a way to win this game. I'm not going against.
I would say I am glad that it's not Penn State, Ohio State. I don't want a rematch. Like, I don't want a national championship of a game we've already watched. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad it wasn't Texas.
It's in Georgia.
And Georgia. I don't want round
for the
3 of that.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that would have been cool. That would have been cinematic. That would have been, especially if Texas wins that one. Y'all got us the first 2, but we got the one that mattered. And I could have seen that. I could have seen that built up. But I like that's why I'm so done with the NFL. I'm tired of seeing the same 3 or 4 teams in the playoffs every year, and that's why this year on the NFL, I mean the NFC side, I'm so thrilled with it because it is a mixture of teams that weren't there normally, or
No, again, I know we're going to talk about. We're going to get round 3 of the Washington and Eagles, but the atmosphere in the game, it matters and what it
it's
gets you
whole
to.
different. Yeah,
It's like it's 0-0 again, no matter what happened in the regular season. But yeah, man, I got Notre Dame. I am excited for this game tomorrow. It's at 6:30. It's in Georgia, man. It's at Mercedes-Benz. It's going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game, guys. All I'm going to say is don't sleep on Notre Dame. They're here for a reason. I understand they hadn't played in a conference. I know they didn't play a lot of people in the regular season. You could kind of say they may have had a cakewalk-ish type thing into this game, but I mean, Penn State was their best opponent in the playoffs. I mean, and they took care of business there. So I don't know. This is the feeling, man. In some ways, again, I hope I'm wrong because I do like Ohio State, but I don't know what it is, man. I just feel like Notre Dame might take it, man. And it would end up being a great season for them if they were to beat Ohio State. They lost to Northern Illinois, whatever. But if they were to win this game, that would be a big season for either team. It's a great season for either team. I'm already excited for next season for college football.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're not even done with this year yet. Technically, we have one more game left. So, well, with that, great conversation there. I like everything you said about Ohio State. Let's run our before we get into the NFL side of things. I know there's a game going on now, but we'll talk about the other 3 games and let's run another ad, and then we will get into the NFL side of things. All right, guys. So W Energy, again, they just added 2 new flavors to their lineup. Tubs of powdered energy you mix with water. If you like energy drinks, this is a healthier side of the energy drinks. We've both had them; they're great. They're really good. I actually like them. If you use code TS2024, you'll get 10% off your orders, and it would contribute to our podcast. And they have a website. They have an app in the App Store you can download on Android or Apple, and they have a Facebook page as well. So go check them out and give it a try. And if you do, comment or message us and let us know what y'all think about them. All right, let's get into these NFL games. Let's talk about this Kansas City game. Houston, my opinion, probably should have won this game.
100% should have won this game.
There were some calls, nothing new that went Kansas City's way.
It's getting blatant at this point, man. Like it's been bad, but man, how do 2 Texans players hit each other, and it's a personal foul for roughing the runner, the passer, or whatever like that? It's just blatant at this point. They need someone to carry on the league. But man, God, it's just so bad. It's so bad.
I give kudos to Houston, man, for all the injuries they've had. They had a really good chance to win this game again. I think, based off what I saw, they should have won. Again, outcome's the outcome. But I know C.J. Stroud didn't throw a touchdown or didn't turn the ball over, but I thought he played great. Offensive line needs some help there. He was under duress a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
But again, he didn't turn the ball over. They ran the ball fairly well. Joe Mixon showed up again. I mean, he's showed up in the playoffs. I give him that. And all they have is Nico. That's all they have is Nico Collins. So, I mean, I want to see this team healthy next year. They get Tank Dell back. They get Diggs back.
I think Diggs is a free agent, isn't he?
I think he is a free agent, but I have a feeling I hope he stays in Houston. I think that would be a good place for him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? He might want to come play with his brother. I doubt that, though.
That's exactly what I was thinking, man. I think that would be a great addition.
It would be a great addition. But I don't know how
Yes, Texans need a lot. They need offensive line help.
I think they need to start. They need to start the offensive line. That's where
Yeah.
their weakest points is on the offensive side. Like offensive line wise, they need to fix some pieces there. They need another JJ Watt. They need another edge rusher. They need someone that can get to the quarterback. Someone like that, whoever that might be out there. They need to fix some pieces on defense too. But I mean, again, I thought they had the opportunity to win yesterday. And I mean, Mahomes, I mean, he played. I mean, he did enough. Kelsey actually showed up. I mean, this is like Kelsey's one of his best games all year.
Yeah.
He was wide open a lot, which was insane because he hasn't been like that all year.
And you know, this is one of those what I've been talking about all year long. Look at these 4 quarterbacks on the screen.
I mean,
299, 313, 245, 177 from a $50 million man. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, how was 177 yards beat you? You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Well, so they beat them. It's the defense, right? Obviously, it's the defense that. The defense won this game.
Yeah,
the front seven for Kansas City is still. Chris Jones is insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, he's insane. Like, you know, if you remember, he held out some games. Was it the last year before?
He wanted to get paid.
They paid him, and like I mean, usually when you see people get paid, you usually see a decline, right? They got their money, aka Zeke Elliott, aka Dak Prescott got their money kind of decline. Chris Jones actually seems like he's like, hey, I got paid. I'm going to show you why I got paid. You know, I mean, you usually do see that on the defensive side of the ball. You don't usually see people decline. It's usually on the offensive side of the ball. But the one thing for Kansas City, I'm questioning is what are they doing with Pacheco? Why is Pacheco not playing? You know, like he's been back. We're not seeing him at all.
I thought he was hurt.
No,
I mean, not hurt, but
banged up.
Yeah. Maybe they're saving him. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because I mean, like for Kansas City, I think I'm not gonna say who's winning this game, but based off right now, Buffalo's up. To beat a Buffalo team, you're gonna need Pacheco. There's a lot of ways you can use Pacheco and Hunt. Hunt has showed since they've re-signed him, he's been great for them this year for the time he's played with them. They got to find a way to use both of them. I don't know how they do that. I think Kareem Hunt should be your third down back, but Pacheco should be their main back unless he's banged up.
Yeah,
Pacheco is really good. They need to be doing screens with Pacheco. They need to be throwing them out there like a swing pass with the guards and the tackle on that side pulling. Like there's things you could do with Pacheco to take this team to actually another offensively, because they're not going to be able to win like this against whoever they play next. They're not going to be able to.
Pacheco has to show up.
He has to play.
Next game.
If he's healthy, they need to play him, because if not, they have to play him.
I think the reason for Pacheco is you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get. I'm talking about defensive wise. Like, are they going to run him? Is he going to just run angry downhill at you, or run angry to the edge? Are they going to do play actions with him and then throw a screen to him and then let him get loose? Pacheco is so underrated, but I think he fits the Chiefs' offense perfectly. I think he is the perfect back.
I had no idea who he was until he got to the Chiefs.
I agree. I don't even know where he's from.
I couldn't tell you where he's from either. I couldn't tell you what college he went to or nothing. But again, when it comes to the NFL, I think in college it's different. But in the NFL, these players that may have not been the biggest players in college, but they were good enough to get drafted, if they're put in the right situation, you see like them flourish. Josh Allen
went to Rutgers. And he was a 7th round pick.
I mean, that's what I love. That's one thing I do love about the NFL. There is so much talent. You can get somebody in the 7th round, and they could become AKA Tom Brady, AKA Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft, and look where he's about to get paid. Yeah, it's a situational thing, man. It really is. Good situations put you in positions to succeed and to flourish. And if Pacheco goes to another team, I don't know if we hear about him again.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean that. You don't know if you hear about him again.
I think that's what made Bill Belichick so good. Is while everybody was scouting, C.J. Stroud, Belichick was scouting the right tackle for Fordham. You know what I mean? Like,
or somebody from Holy Cross.
Yeah, and I mean he got him like that, and that's he still got all of the guys that he wanted, but then in the 6th round he got the guys that nobody knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Now let's talk about the Washington game. I want to make one comment, and I want to hear your thoughts about this game. Jaden Daniels, after yesterday, he is the rookie of the year, no question. That's all I'm going to say about that.
100% agree. I think Detroit tried to get a little too cute from what they were in the reverse pass, and Ahmad St. Brown showed up amazing. Gibbs. I thought with Montgomery back, they would run the ball more.
He had like nothing. He did nothing this
game.
I
know he didn't do much. The poise of Daniels for a rookie is unbelievable, for one thing.
Yeah.
And I think it also just goes to show you, and both of these teams are amazing. Like Detroit's going to be back next year. I think they had 16 people hurt. I mean, what they're going to look like next year, I have no idea. Offensive coordinator is going to be gone. Defensive coordinator is going to be gone. So what do they look like next year? We got to see who they bring in. They've got all the pieces to win. So somebody's going to want to go there, right?
And they'll be healthy on the defense side of the ball next year.
Hutchinson will be back.
Mm-hmm.
So and see what they do in the draft this year. But as far as Washington, I think it just goes to show you they brought in a defensive-minded head coach who went out and got some veterans, who then traded for a veteran in Marcus Lattimore to shore up the back end of it.
Got Bobby Wagner.
The defensive line was good already.
Could you imagine if they had Chase Young still on the defensive side of the
ball? So rumor has it he might be going back.
That would be nuts. They get better on the. They're already good on defensive line. If they get him,
yeah,
man.
What is the best thing that you could do for your rookie quarterback? Go out and get a great offensive coordinator / quarterback coach to bring him up. And who do they have? Cliff Kingsbury. So they have a defensive-minded head coach running the defense, an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, raising up this young kid. And, dude, it's amazing to watch them. I'm so looking forward to next week's game between Washington and Philly. I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. Not going to tell you who's going to win. Not going to tell you the score. But I think it's going to be a shootout.
Talk about that Wednesday, but yeah, it's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to say this right here on Tire Sports. I think Jaden Daniels is the best rookie that's ever played the game of football. The best rookie in his rookie season. I'm not going to say the best, but his rookie season, this is one of the best we've ever seen. I mean,
for sure.
I mean, on draft, everybody said Jaden Daniels was the guy, and he got passed up. You think Chicago's regretting that? You think? Think about all these teams that are like passed up on him. You know.
What do you think? One of the best rookie seasons? We're not saying the best. We're just saying one of the best.
I am saying he's the best rookie to ever play in football.
Oh, right. I thought you said just his rookie season.
No. Well, his rookie season, yeah, like his a rookie that's played the rookie season. He's been the best rookie to ever play in a rookie season. Yeah. I mean, think about it, man. Like
that's a hot take.
Look how bad this team was last year.
So you think he's better than Jamarcus Russell's rookie season?
Best rookie to ever play, TJ Watt. Okay, I mean, yes, T.J. Watt was great, but did T.J. Watt take them to the? Did he take them to the AFC Championship his rookie year? Did he take them? Jaden Daniels has taken this team to the AFC Championship his rookie year. He's taken them there. He's been good all year. This team, what was Washington's record last year? Did they even win 5 games last year?
Probably not.
Lamar Jackson? No, he's better than Lamar Jackson was his rookie year. Better than Derrick Henry. You got to think, like, I'm not talking about his numbers. I'm talking about accomplishments he's done. Look, listen, who'd they beat their first game? Who was Washington's first game in the playoffs?
In the playoff?
Who'd they play? Why am I drawing a blank here? Green Bay. Did they play Green Bay? Was that their first game?
No, that was Philly.
Well,
hang on, I got you.
Jaden Daniels he will win the Bucks. Oh yeah, they beat the Bucks.
They beat the Bucks.
And the Bucks are a good football team. They beat the Bucks. I'm not saying the Bucks are great, but beat them. Then they come and they beat the number 1 seed. Jaden Daniels isn't turning the ball over. He's very poised. I'm talking about for a rookie. We got to understand, like, for a rookie, a quarterback is the hardest position to play as a rookie. I don't care who you are. Derrick Henry, he can run the ball. Okay, great. T.J. Watt, he can get sacks and be insane on defense. But look, a rookie quarterback, when was the last rookie quarterback that's done what he's done and taken them to the NFC Championship or a championship game type in their first season and on a bad team that was terrible last year? Terrible. This team was not good last year. They were terrible last year. That's what I mean by that. But I mean, great game for Washington. Daniels played lights out. Robinson, and listen, people don't forget they still have Austin Eckler. Like, this team is loaded too. Like, Austin Eckler's still on the team. McLaren played great. Brown played great. Like, they had the best game they could have played yesterday, and I think it carries on. I'm excited.
I'm going to say something here.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with you.
I'm telling you, y'all. Like, I'm talking about the best rookie to ever play in their first season in the NFL, starting from game 1 through the whole year. Jaden Daniels is that
70% completion rate, 3,500 yards, 25-9, 900 yards rushing, and 6 rushing touchdowns. And
appreciate you, Brandon, for coming in here, man. We'll be on the lookout, man. Appreciate you popping in and interacting with us, man. We appreciate you as always.
Man. I'm going to agree with you on that, brother.
I'm talking about
that's a good take.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, I'm not talking about next year. I'm not talking about from 5. I'm talking about this year as a rookie. He's the best rookie that's ever played the NFL. Year 1 from their first snap, and they're continuing to go.
That's a homer pick, Brandon. You're a Falcon.
Yeah, Brandon, we know you're Atlanta. If I was a Washington fan, I could say I'm saying that I'm not a Washington. I mean, I like Washington now because they have Dan Quinn and but hey, Mike Vick was good. I'm not knocking on Mike Vick, but listen, Jaden Daniels looks like a veteran out there.
Oh no, not even close, Brandon. Mike Vick had a passer rating of 62.7, 800 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 8 games.
Okay, now Brandon's definitely
Homer Brandon.
Brandon, you're picking up because you're an Atlanta fan. It's all right though. We do that from time to time, but we're not biased here. That's why. That's like me saying,
wow.
Well, Dak was pretty good. He didn't even play it. Well, he played a little bit of his rookie year, but that's like me saying
he played all of his rookie year. What are you talking about? Romo got hurt. Yeah, Romo got hurt preseason.
That's right. You're right.
That's
like
Zeke
me saying
Zeke had the greatest, not the greatest, but Zeke had
a really good year.
Zeke had his best year. That's why Dak was so good, because he had a running game.
And one of the best offensive lines to ever play the game of football was the Dallas offensive lines through his first years. But listen, Detroit's got to figure it out. Their main thing is coordinators, because they're going to lose both of them.
Yep.
So
do you see them any chance they keep them? I mean, I know Ben's gone. Any chance they keep the D coordinator?
It depends on what teams really want him. Like,
I think where he wants to go to the Jets.
Here's my thing about coordinators, head coaches. Okay, Detroit had one of the best years Detroit's ever had in history. Okay. I am surprised. Like, yes, I understand people want those guys, but I'm surprised these guys are not listening. Nah, I want to run it back. Like, that's how I would feel as if I was Ben Johnson or the defense coordinator. I can't think of his name. I'm like, I want to run it back. Let me get another year of this. Let's see what we can do next year. That's my thought. Like, I get the money, I get the opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. I mean,
but there's always going to be an opportunity to be a head coach. Every year, somebody needs a head coach in the NFL. Somebody's going to get fired. Somebody's going to let go. Like, the opportunity is always going to be there. Now, unless you have like this, like if Ben Johnson, like, obviously he's young, but if he's like, man, I want to go be. I've always wanted to be a Raiders head coach. Here's my opportunity. Okay, I can understand you leaving.
Yeah.
That, but just to go be the Raiders coach because they need a coach. But look what you're doing now. Like, Ben Johnson is so young. He has 30 years left of coaching in the NFL. I mean, he's in his 30s. Like, you literally could coach for another 30 years. Why not see what this team can do next year? Look who you can add next year. That's my thought on that. That's what I would do if I was a coordinator. I would, like, run this back. Now, if you were the Texans and that was Ben Johnson, okay, yeah, I can leave, right? But I don't know.
Let me ask you, this would be my only take on that. What happens if you come out next year and they figure you out? And you go from 15-2 to 8-8, and you only scored 20 points a game versus this year you scored 42. Now those 10 jobs that you had, and now it's down to 3, and like you either have to run it back again or just pick the best of the worst.
Well, I think because of Ben Johnson in his case, he's young, man. Like, you're going to have, even if next year you don't like the head coaching jobs, run it back again. That head coaching job you want in that place, it's going to pop up. When? I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of head coaches that are needed right now. And he can almost take his pick in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. That's one of those things where you got to, whatever you want to do, what's going to make him happy, that's what he needs to do, whether it's staying or going. Because sometimes making the head coach jump isn't always the best move. Like, people say, it's not always greener on the other side. It will not be greener. It will not be greener and at the Raiders. It will not be greener at the Jets. The only job right now I think available that has a lot of upside and the talents there is Dallas.
Dallas.
It really is. It's the only team that has the opportunity to be in this position, one of these positions next year. So I don't know. That's a good take, though. I mean, as a coordinator, those are hard decisions to make because, especially when you do something like this, it's hard to just stay, but it's also hard to get up and go, not really knowing what you're getting yourself into. Look what happened to Jared Mayo. Went to the Patriots 1 year, fired. Antonio Pierce, Raiders, 1 year, fired. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get into. It's a win-now league. If you don't win, you're going to get fired. And that's in all sports. It's a win-now league in most all sports. If you don't win now and you're not successful, you may only get 1 year, which is unfortunate because it's in the professional sports. Hell, even in college, it's hard to build a great team in your first year because usually you don't get a lot of the players and choices you want. They're already there, and you have to deal with what's there. So in that sense, it's a win-now league in all sports, and it's tough, man. It's a tough decision to make. When you look at these stats, man, on this game today,
this was ugly. You would have thought the Rams blew them out.
Yeah, I mean, Barkley did his part. 205 yards, insane. The last time he played them, he had 255, so I'm not surprised by that. But for Matthew Stafford to throw 324 yards, 2 touchdowns in that weather is insane.
He had 2 costly turnovers, though.
He did have 2 costly turnovers, but insane. I picked the Rams. I mean, my second pick is done. I had the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Well, that was shut down pretty early. Then really early. And then I had the Rams making a run, and they made a run. They won their first game in the playoff. I would have liked to see what would this game have been like if the weather wasn't the way it was. You always think about that, right? The way that game started with nothing into how it ended, like weather-wise, was something I've never seen live. It was insane.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know if it was raining or snowing. That's why I asked.
In the beginning, you couldn't tell because it wasn't crazy. And then, like, right before halftime, like about 6 minutes through the second quarter, it was just coming down. Like, every break, they were clearing the lines, clearing them. They were clearing everything because you couldn't see nothing. And, like, right now in Buffalo, it's snowing in Buffalo right now too, but it's nothing like it was. You can see the field. You couldn't see the Philly field halfway through the second quarter. The thing with Matthew Stafford, Rams had a great season compared to how it started. I don't really know what's going on there. I don't really know I think defensively is where they need some more work. Offensively, I think they're fine. Offensive line's great. They have running backs. They have receivers. Matthew Stafford, if he continues to play, he still slings the ball. I think defensively they need some work. The key for Philly is, what is Jalen Hurts' status? He's hurt. I don't care. He's hurt. Okay. It showed. Why do you think Saquon had 200 yards? He's hurt. So they've got to figure him out because they are going against a Washington team that is on fire right now. Yeah. I know it's in Philly. Again, I don't know what the weather's going to be like for next weekend, but hopefully it's somewhat clear. I hate when weather's decide. I'm not going to say the weather decided the outcome, but it definitely played in today's game.
Oh, absolutely.
Playing in the rain is one thing, but playing in snow, it changes you when you are going to have the chance to play in snow, you almost have two different game plans. You have a regular game plan, then you have a snow game plan. You have to, because it's not. It's like playing on ice. Could you imagine running the ball on ice or throwing the football on ice? Like, your hands are free. We can go on and on about it, but sometimes I wish these games were neutral sided so we could, like, change if needed because of the weather. Because I hate when it weather kind of decides it. Let me ask
you this: if Stafford hangs it up,
oh God, I don't want him to though.
I don't either. But just hypothetically, he says that he's taken 3 or 4 weeks and decided he wants to hang it up. Mm-hmm. Do the Rams blow it up? Do they trade Coop? Do they, move on?
I don't think they should. You have Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not the greatest quarterback. I think if he hangs it up, they got to find a veteran quarterback. Okay, not Garoppolo, somebody else. I think they should draft somebody. I think you mentioned this. I'm not sure if it was for the Rams. I cannot remember, but I know I wouldn't mind seeing them get Kyle McCord. Okay.
Yeah.
Get a Kyle McCord, come in, play. Like, what if the Rams got Flacco? Hear me out. You have Flacco, Jimmy, Kyle McCord. So you have 2 quarterbacks that you can depend on, and you have a rookie. Let them kind of play. I would say probably Flacco starts that job. As crazy as that sounds, but I think he could. I think they should draft. I think even if Stafford doesn't retire, I think they draft a quarterback this year and some defensive player or get defensive help.
I'll throw you a quarterback out there. I'll throw you a quarterback that they could get 3rd round. Quinn Ewers.
I was just about to. That was going to be my next pick. Quinn Ewers. I know I've been seeing people talk about this, that they don't think this was a good move for him, and I agree. But again, situational draft is where you succeed, especially as a rookie. This will not be a bad draft for them. Quinn Ewers can throw the ball. It's not that he can't throw. He's just got to be put in the right position to succeed in the NFL.
Yeah.
I do think Quinn could start in the NFL. Right situation. He's not a Jaden Daniels that could probably go to any team and play, because I think Jaden Daniels could. Sorry, I was looking at the game. Buffalo just got another turnover. I'm trying to figure out how they
sure did.
Wow. It's 1924, by the way. Baltimore is losing 1924. But I think that'd be a good pick. I'm trying to think of another quarterback that could even be drafted.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel is out there. I mean, if they were to draft Dylan Gabriel, I would only expect it for him to maybe sit a year, if not play at some point in time.
How about this? Let's not draft a quarterback if I'm the Rams.
Okay, so we're not drafting, like, sticking to the NFL only?
If Matthew Stafford stays one more year, if he says, I'm going to stay one more year, if I'm the Rams, I call the New England Patriots. I offer them a second-round pick for Joe Milton. I let Joe Milton learn under Matthew Stafford for 1 year, and I let him take the reins the following year.
Because I think the Patriots and with Vrabel, I think they're going to.
I think they're going with May.
I was about to say that they're going to go with May. I think Milton's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He was at Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
He played at Tennessee Volunteers. That's right.
Yeah.
I think he would. I think Milton will not be in New England, and again, situational. This would be a great situation for him, playing behind one of the best slingers to ever sling the ball.
Yep, and he can sling
Super
it
Bowl
too.
winner.
So
and Milton can sling it. Milton can run. Milton can run. He's a two-headed monster. He can run and throw. I really hope Matthew Stafford gives it one more shot because if this team was healthy this year, they're not 10-7. They have to get a better seeding.
They were hurt early.
They were hurt early and hurt, a lot. But kudos to Philly. Great win for Philly.
Buffalo just got the ball back.
Wow. Kudos to Barkley. Had a great game. Dallas Goedert actually had a really good game. I'm not even for fixing, but when they ran that screen with him, he would have had more, but that offensive lineman went up the field. That was tight end screens are so underrated. They're such good plays. If you have a great tight end, like whoever gets Tyler Warren.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to tell you a play that I really liked, and I've never seen it. That's the play the Lions ran, where they ran the pitch to, I guess it was Gibbs, and he pitched it back inside to St. Brown. That was a good play because everybody kind of over pursued.
That's that Ben Johnson play.
It is, but I will tell you a play that I did not like, and they need to throw it out of the playbook. Is Washington. When they brought Mariota in motion, was going to fake the sneak.
That was so dumb.
If they would have pitched that to Daniel, he was fixing to get rocked by two Lions. And that's putting your quarterback in a position that he don't need to be in.
That was a dumb play. That was probably one of Cliff Kingsbury's worst plays I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That was not a good play. So next weekend will be good. Like we said, 1924 Buffalo right now. So we'll see how that game pans out. We got about a quarter and a half left. So that's a good game though. It wasn't looking very pretty. But it's gotten better. So let's run another ad, and we're gonna get some college basketball scores for this weekend. I'm excited about that. There's some really good games on both men and women's side. So let's run this ad and we'll get into those games. All right. Let's start off with the women's. Well, the game right here that kind of, let me see. I'm trying to look. Okay, yeah. Penn State beat Ohio State in women's. That was a big win for Penn State. Now, they're only 10-9. They gave Ohio State their first loss of the season. Kudos to those girls. I mean, I don't even want to talk about UConn. They smashed Seton Hall as Paige Buckner's got
2,000.
The fastest UConn in 2000 over Maya Moore. I want to talk about this. Let's see. Duke girls are playing great. Georgia. I mean, the one that's sticking out to me is this LSU team. I saw a stat today on Coach Maki. I can't think. I think that's her name. Um, every season she's coached, she's got 20 plus wins.
Yeah.
Her 1 year in Baylor, I don't remember what year it was. Yes. She had 40. She was 40-0 one time at Baylor, which is insane. LSU was scary this year. I know they were good last year with Angel Roos and whatnot, but they're 20-0. I think they're one of the only undefeated big teams left. But I'm excited for the girls because I mean, again, it's kind of the same teams every year for the girls, sometimes for the boys, but it's been USC, LSU, UConn. There's a couple Big 12 teams that are pretty good. You got South Carolina, obviously, Tennessee, which Tennessee lost by 1. Notre Dame's good. So the Penn State lost or beating Ohio State was the one game that stuck out to me because Ohio State girls are really good. And like I said, they were undefeated up until yesterday. But I really expect right now what I want to see in the final championship game. If the brackets play out, I want to see the LSU UConn or USC UConn. I know UConn and USC played the game before the championship, if I'm right, last year.
Are you talking about South Carolina, correct? Or are you talking about the Trojans?
Oh, I'm talking about the Trojans. Yeah, the Trojans.
Okay.
I don't think South Carolina wins it this year.
I think South Carolina wins it running away.
Oh, you think so?
Oh my gosh, that kills me to say that because
I know you're a huge Paige Buckner
dude. Fan. I want her to get one so bad, but I don't know if they have the firepower to keep up.
I mean, yeah, South Carolina. I mean, I know South Carolina's great.
But real quick, I'm going to talk about a game, and this blew my mind. It was on the 12th. Okay.
The 12th? Okay.
It was on the 12th, and we didn't talk about it. But it was SMU versus Pittsburgh. Okay. At halftime, it was 49-18. SMU was winning. Okay.
This is the women's, right?
This is women.
Okay.
49-18. The final score was 72-59 Pittsburgh.
Wow.
They outscored them 54-10 in the second half, and they shut them out in the third quarter.
Wow.
They scored 10 in the fourth and 0 in the third. That is the biggest comeback in women's college basketball history.
Wow.
Yeah, that was they were down 32 points and came back and won by 13.
Wow. That's impressive.
That was unbelievable. And I meant to bring it up the last time that we were doing basketball, but it just completely slipped my mind. But yeah, man, Mulkey is such a good coach. And I kind of brought this up the other day about USC. I brought this up on Brandon and M's show. Will South Carolina surpass UConn as the best dynasty in women's basketball? Personally, I do not think that. I think Gino Auriemma has implanted himself as probably the greatest basketball women's coach of all time. I know a lot of people have Pat Summitt up there, which I'm all for as well. I love Pat.
Yeah, she was great.
Amazing at Tennessee, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Gino just has something up there, man, that's unreal.
I hope our Final Four is UConn, LSU, USC, and then South Carolina. That would be a dream Final Four. Yeah. But as college goes and all sports, I feel like one of those teams gets beat, unfortunately, because I just think if we get that, then, I mean, you have the perfect – I mean, that'd be a perfect bracket situation. It's hard to get that with all the teams that are in there, and there's always that one unknown team that makes a run, the Cinderella run.
Mm-hmm.
Who it will be? I don't know. We'll see when the brackets come out. But I mean, we're about 5 to 6 games, 5, 6, 7, 8 games into the conference play, and I mean, March Madness is around the corner. I'm excited about it, especially with football coming to an end. We'll dive really deep into these games, really into these teams. But that was kind of the women's side of things. That, like I said, that game stuck out. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee. That was a good win for Vanderbilt. I mean, the women's are 15-4. So let's talk about some of the men's scores. I'm gonna run another quick ad real quick. We don't have very many left, and then we'll talk about some of the men's scores from this weekend.
One of the many things that we offer is a fence repair, and today we're out here in Longview, Texas. We are going to be replacing a rotten 4x4 post. Fence restored and standing tall. You can reach us at 903-619-6343.
Awesome. All right. Man, really good games on the men's side. Auburn beats Georgia by 2. Georgia men have kind of came on in the SEC a little bit. They had two big wins in the top 25 recently, and then they lose this game here. I think actually they lost 2. Their last 2 they've lost, but really being competitive this year. West Virginia beat out Iowa State. I mean
they went crazy. They went
did.
crazy.
They went nuts.
Biggest win in West Virginia history.
Is that I can't think of the guy's name.
Bob Huggins.
Is he still there?
He's still there.
Still coach. He's been there a while. Great win for West Virginia in the Big 12. Beat the number 2 team in the nation. Duke dominated Boston College. Alabama.
Cooper Flag Player of the Year. Give it to him right now.
He started off slow.
Yeah.
But that he had. Man, listen. He's easily. I mean, I'm calling it now. He's going to be the number 1 draft pick. Whoever. Unfortunately, it's going to be to a bad team. But he's that guy. For sure.
I agree.
Alabama, Kentucky, great game, man. I mean, one of the best games from. So
they would be down 7. They'd hit a 3 and get a steal. Then they'd be down 2. Then Bama would go on like an 8-0 run. Then they'd go back up. Then Kentucky'd go on a 9-0 run and cut it within 2. And then I mean, it was such a good game. Man, it was just so good.
It was a great game. And then you have Texas got clobbered by Florida. Texas boys, they are not doing well this year. In the SEC, it's showing. They've been competitive, but then they've been getting blown out. Purdue beat Oregon. Purdue has been surprising to me because I thought when they lost Zach Edey, they were going to fall off but it just shows they have great team or a great coach there, great staff, and they're recruiting well still. Creighton beat UConn. UConn lost another game. UConn boys. I do not think we're going to have a repeat this year on UConn.
Be a 3-peat.
Well, technically a 3-peat. Yeah, we're not going to have a 3-peat. I think the field is a lot better this year.
Yeah.
I mean, SEC in particular. Mississippi State beat Ole Miss. Santa Clara beat Gonzaga.
Let me ask you this: does Hurley regret not taking the Lakers job?
No. I mean, no, man. You're going for a 3-peat. I mean, there's no way you leave. I mean, I honestly, I don't know, man. I mean, he's done so well at UConn. It's kind of like the Ben Johnson thing, almost like, do you run it back? Do you leave to go to the Lakers? Like,
I don't think you wanted LeBron.
I mean, Dan Hurley is a very great coach. He definitely would have made changes there, like as in roster wise. But I don't know. Rob Pelinka sometimes reminds me of Jerry Jones. It's his way. and him and Jeannie Buss. That they're kind of like this is. I mean, I think the only person there that gives them directions is probably LeBron, and that's because he's LeBron, and he's like, "Hey, I want this guy. Hey, I don't want this guy. Hey, go draft my son. Look what they do. They draft his son." So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like look at all the great, phenomenal college football coaches went to the NFL and didn't succeed. It's kind of like sometimes basketball can be that way. Like I look at Avery Johnson. Went and coached for the Dallas Mavericks, and then he went to Alabama. And I'm not sure if he's even coaching now. But
I don't know. That's a good.
It's just like that. Like sometimes going to the opportunity is great, but I mean, if I am doing so well at this level, I don't know if it depends on if you want to do it for the money, if you're doing it for the love of the game. If you're doing it for the love of the game, why leave when you're succeeding so much here? Like Gino. Why is Gino not in the dump? Where's he at?
He's an analyst.
Oh, he's an analyst now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like Gino, why is he not in the WNBA? Well, because he's been so well at UConn every year. For what? What's in it for the WNBA for him?
He makes a killing. That goes back to my whole thing about. I know a lot of people aren't going to understand who we're talking about. But Scott Surratt for Carthage.
Yeah, why leave? What are you leaving for? You've won 10 state titles in 15 years. Why go to the next level?
Would you rather be a god in Carthage or the president of North Texas? You know what I mean? Like he can do no wrong in Carthage. He could lose the next 5 years, and as long as they make the playoffs, they're okay with that.
Yeah, like if you're succeeding in this level, like if Scott Surratt, if he had the opportunity to go coach the Longhorns, okay, maybe. I'm just throwing a team out there. I'm just throwing a team out there that is like of worthiness. Like, but I'm not leaving Carthage, Texas, where I've won 10 state titles in the last 15 years to go coach at North Texas. Like, well, I mean, the opportunity, yes, but I don't know. I just think that Dan Hurley made the right choice. And, I mean, everybody has bad years. You're going to have a bad year. Carthage hasn't won it every year. Now they've won it 10 out of the 15.
Yeah.
But they didn't win it for 5 years. You're always going to have a year where you're down. Now, UConn could turn it around. I mean, they could. I mean,
they'll win the Big East.
Oh yeah, they'll win the Big East. I'm not doubting that they're going to not do well, but I just don't think, based off what I've seen this year, that they're going to go and win the whole thing. And then Vanderbilt beat Tennessee. Tennessee's been in the slump. They've lost a couple games in SEC play. Xavier beat Marquette. I mean, I know A&M got a great win against LSU. I mean, the basketball field in college, it's almost reminding me of football. Like, it's really good.
I've said this before, and I'll die on this hill. If I had to watch one sporting event for the rest of my life, it would be college basketball, just for the simple fact that I know at the end it's March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness is
there is nothing. A 1 can beat a 16 just as easy as a 5 can lose to a 12. I mean,
it happens every single year.
Why? And it used to be that the ones were 160-0.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're like 160-4 over the last 8 years. I mean, so and the 2s losing to 15 seeds. That's almost a yearly thing. You can almost bet on that.
Yes.
But yeah, I love it, man. Like I love it.
Yeah, I do too. Let's run our last ad, and I want to kind of do closing thoughts, and then that'll be it for this evening.
All right.
All right. Well, so yeah, I'm not sure what the score of the game is. I know there's only
27-19.
Just like 3 minutes left, something around that, right?
Yep,
Something long.
3:20. Baltimore has the ball on their 11-yard line.
So 8-point game. So Baltimore's got to go for 2, right?
They've got to go 90 yards and a 2-point conversion.
Okay. Well, man, great.
Yeah, great show, great episode. I do have one. Yeah, great weekend. I want to get your take on something. I just seen this the other day. Maverick Carter. You know who he is?
Oh yeah, he's very. I mean, I know he's in LeBron's circle. I'm not sure what he does.
That's LeBron's agent. That was LeBron's friend growing up. Okay. He's looking for investors to raise $5 billion to create a new basketball league.
Like an actual league?
Like an actual league that's going to rival the NBA. Do you see that happen?
No.
I don't need
NBA is too big.
It is. I don't see it happening at all. I think they would be stupid to put any kind of money into this. Because you're not. I mean, at best, where are you going to play at? You got to build arenas. Where are you going to get the talent at? Nobody's going to come to the Carter NBA or whatever you want to call it.
No.
Over the NBA.
There's no shot.
And then have you seen the what is it called, the Unveil or something like that? The new WNBA league, the 3-on-3.
I've been seeing talk.
Unrivaled. So I seen that yesterday. Didn't know nothing about it. Nothing. I'm just gonna be honest. And like don't know anything about it so much that it's not even on the ESPN app.
Yeah, I don't know why people are trying to create new things. We have. I mean,
this is my thing. Okay, I'm gonna steal a line from a show that I used to watch. You know what? You know what really grinds my gears? The WNBA say, "Oh well, we've got to go overseas and play. We've got to look at all these different avenues because we don't get paid what the guys play." And I'm bringing Angel Reese into this because it's fresh on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making $90K a year, don't live in an $8,000 a month apartment. Okay? Live within your means. Do you know how many people make $90,000 a year in America? They don't have to go overseas to work more. Live within your means. Do what you need to do, and stop. And I put this in the group chat. She doesn't want to be a ball player. She wants to be a celebrity.
Yeah,
that's what she wants to be. She playing ball. She's using playing ball to create her celebrity status. She's got a little podcast now and all that. But that's what she wants to do. She wants to be a celebrity. She doesn't want to play ball.
No, she doesn't want to.
That's why every time that she does something, it's always, oh, me or me or me or me. And that's what she wants it to be about. It's about her and her celebrity status. But yeah,
let's play ball. Listen, I understand the WNBA is underpaid. She doing the podcast, maybe bring some extra income. I get it. But if you live the lavish lifestyle, expect to spend the lavish money, and you don't have it. It is what it is. Like, she probably makes more than that because I'm sure she has endorsement deals. Like, because
absolutely. But
don't just play ball. Just play ball. Stop trying to do all this extra. Like,
so I've seen a thing about the WNBA, and I'm going to get your take on this as well. I want to say it was Shaq. Could be completely wrong on this. What is the difference between the WNBA and the NBA? What is the one thing that's different?
Well, I mean, one is. I mean, one thing is the money, right? I mean, it is.
I'm just talking about playing. I'm just talking about playing.
Um,
There's one thing that the WNBA misses that the NBA has.
or for one, I mean, for one, I mean, for one,
Dunking.
dunking's huge.
That's it. They've got 3-pointers. They've got layups. They've got free throws. They've got
And
timeouts.
they actually have the fans now too. Like the fans
They
are
have
getting,
the fans now. Did you see that the Indiana Fever are building a $78 million practice facility?
wow. That's
Yes.
huge.
Saw that last week. But Shaq brought up the idea of dropping the goal to 9 foot in the WNBA
Really?
to allow dunking, to get a little bit more excited, to get a little bit because you can say whatever you want to. The WNBA is never going to have a $40 million a year player. They're just not going to have it. They're not going to have it. I'm sorry. You can talk about pay gap and gender wages and this and that. You're not going to have it. I'm sorry. And that's coming from somebody with a daughter that plays basketball. My daughter's never going to make $40 million playing basketball. You know what I mean? And that has to be okay. Like you have to be okay to know that. I can't think of the dude. Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague even said that the greatest WNBA player of all time couldn't even beat a 11th man on the G League team.
No.
He said it's completely different.
It's. I mean, the game is. I mean,
it's just too much. It's too physical. It's different.
Yeah, the physicality between women and men, or you could sit there and say, "Oh, they could do this," but the physicality is so different that nobody would be able to compete.
You remember a few years ago when Brittany Griner said that she could be the third best post on a team, and that she would beat DeMarcus Cousins. Prime DeMarcus Cousins was on pace to be a top 5 center of all time until his head got in his way, and that dude went freaking nuts. Okay, he had everything that you wanted as a low post player, and I was a massive fan of his when he was in Charlotte, when he was in Sacramento. I mean, he was absolutely phenomenal.
I love DeMarcus Cousins.
His head just wasn't right.
No,
and it cost him. It cost him a potential top 5 all time career.
By the way, the Ravens just scored.
Oh my God!
They just scored with 1:33 left.
Too much time left. Did they get
well,
the 2?
They ain't gone for it. They're about to go for it right now as we speak.
Oh, I just did.
Yeah, they. Yeah, I mean, WNBA will never be on the level of the NBA. Even when the NBA is at its low, the physicality. Dunking's huge. People love dunking. Even if you put it to 9 foot, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's just not. I don't know.
And that's no knock to the WNBA, like we said. I mean, the WNBA is good. The WNBA is it's starting to get better.
Mark Andrews just dropped the ball
on the 2.
He dropped the ball on the 2-point conversion.
Mm.
He was there.
And I love, like I said, me and my boss talked about this 2 years ago. I could tell you probably a handful, maybe 10 WNBA players. Now I'm looking at the WNBA schedule. I'm looking at the college women's basketball schedule to see who plays and when they play and what channel and what time, because I might want to catch it. Like I might want to watch the game. Yep. Which is huge for the WNBA, because I mean, you have people that are doing that now, not just me, not just you, but other people are doing that. But it's we just got to take it for face value, and it is what it is. Like you be happy with what you have. The money is gonna come, and like I see that you see all these other people making all this money and doing all this and that, especially now with the college kids getting paid. You know, Paige and Juju and all the South Carolina team is making millions.
The whole team, yeah.
And you're professional making $90K a year, but you get all the other sponsorship deals. You are in the pros now. You are done with the schooling, which I think Angel Reese was done with schooling her freshman year with her 1.1 GPA. Anyway, I shouldn't have said that. That was a little slight dig, but
yeah, man, it's just never going to be the same, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, that was all my hot takes tonight, kind of.
Yeah. Again, I appreciate the sponsors. Appreciate everybody for popping in, hanging out with us, and again, I want to put this up here. Oh, Derek, which one is it? There you go. Again, guys, if you don't follow us on all of our socials, please scan the QR code here. Send it to your friends, family, everybody. Follow us, keep up with us with everything we do. Let me see. I'll put this back up here. So I do want to mention something else, Derek. I know we did not talk about this off, but I'm going to mention it, and it is what it is. Josh is no longer with us. He has decided to step away for himself. We support him in every way. We hope everything is well with him. He was supposed to be back tonight, and he messaged us and said that he wanted to step away. So, Josh, if you're listening or if you see this, man, we hope everything's good with you. And from now on, it will just be me and Derek. So, I don't know if anyone's had questions while Josh hasn't been here for a while. He's had a lot of things going on, and then he decided to officially step away. So it's me and Derek from now on, which is fine. We didn't want to mention that because, we don't want people to think we kicked him out or things happened. We didn't mention it. So we're just going to mention it. He's not here with us no more. We hope everything is well with him and his family. And, so I didn't want to mention that. Appreciate everyone stopping in, hanging out with us. We will be back on Wednesday. We will have a special guest on. So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
And we will
a portal guy, something kind of new.
Portal guy. That's we hadn't had one yet. He is currently was at a school and a college, and he has entered the transfer portal. So we're going to get him in here, kind of talk about how things have been with that and kind of how that side has gone with someone that's in the portal. And then we'll recap the national championship game, and then we will talk about the conference championship games in the NFL. Talk about some more basketball. As always, we're going to dig more into the basketball, guys. It's that time of year for us, the NBA. College.
Pitchers and catchers, I think, started reporting.
Yep. Baseball, spring training's about to kick off. Spring games will kick off soon, too. So we're excited about that. I do want to plug in, I think on the next show, I do want to throw some hockey standings up, kind of predict some things in the hockey. Don't know much about it. I couldn't tell you. Actually, I could tell you one player, and I think he's old as crap, but I can't think of his name. He plays for a team. He has like 1 million goals. But I do want to kind of talk about the NHL a little bit, kind of see where teams are at, and kind of maybe do some prediction on who might make the playoffs or even win the whole thing.
I'm good with that.
We'll do that, and again, we appreciate everybody stopping in and hanging out with us this evening. And if you're in Texas, stay warm. It's about to get real cold. Potential snow freeze coming in Tuesday. So we'll see. We'll see how that is. If it happens, it didn't happen last time.
Yeah, it didn't do jack crap last time.
No. So we'll see what happens. And everybody have a good evening, and we will see y'all on Wednesday.
All right, later, buddy.
Later.